Hey everybody, Dee Dee Corn is on the air and I'm having fun. I need you all to join me today. Today is Sunday and it's a new day. We're so blessed to be here and I hope each one of you had a happy Thanksgiving. I know I did. So, how is everybody doing? Did everybody practice safely? Did you stay at home? Did you just celebrate with the loved ones that you normally celebrate with all the time? Well, good. Good. I hear you talking to me. Can you hear me? Well, on today, we're going to have Miss Angela Johnson. Now, Angela Johnson is a former Miss Tennessee USA, 1991. And today, we're going to be talking to her about her program that she has for young ladies. It's called Know Yourself. Simply Know Yourself. And she is one of my favorite models. She is a fabulous, fabulous, and gorgeous young woman who lives in Memphis. And I felt like her program was very instrumental to so many people nowadays. Because you find nowadays that you got young ladies that don't know how to act and they talk all rude, and it just seems like class and simple etiquette or integrity and just grace has just walked out the door with many of our young people. And so for those of you who have young girls and young women that you're raising and you really want them to have a good quality life, you need to join us today. So if you're on here, let everybody know that you're on here. Let people know that we're here to talk about how to be a better us. Okay? And I'm finna bring my girl on. Her name is Angela Johnson. I like each one of you all to sit back and relax. And this is how we do it. Memphis matters. You matter. We all matter. Okay, let's welcome Angela. Put some good music on, Angela. Are you there? Come on in here. I'm waiting. All right, she's coming on in. Hey, girl, pull that camera down so I can see your face.
Now, is that better?
No, the other way. There you go.
Okay, hold on.
Ooh, ooh.
Yeah,
We got time.
I had a
Ooh, ooh.
landscape and now. Okay, how's that?
Gorgeous, gorgeous. Hey, baby girl.
Hey, how are you? Thank you so much for having me on here. I greatly appreciate you. Thank you for giving me the platform to talk about my business and my passion. So I greatly appreciate it.
We appreciate you today. Look, tell me what it's like to be in a beauty pageant.
Okay, very few people know this about me. Okay,
Okay.
when I was younger, I was very thin, and as you see, I have natural hair, and I've worn glasses since I was 5. Okay, so I'm blind as a bat. Thank God for contacts.
Really?
Yes, thank God for contacts and for makeup. Okay, so but I had a really bad speech impediment, so I used to stutter really, really bad. So instead of my mom taking me to a speech therapist, she
Mhm.
decided let me put her in pageants to help build her self-confidence and her self-esteem. So that's
Oh.
how I started in pageants. So instead of mama taking me to a speech therapist and helping me to speak properly, she put me in a pageant because in her head that would help me to learn about myself, to put my best foot forward, and to truly find out who Angela really is. And actually, that's why I named my company Sky Simply Know Yourself. It was based on those experiences.
Awesome, glamour girl. Awesome. Look, so while you was in that beauty pageant, and I know I keep going back to the beauty pageant because a lot of people aspire to be in those kind of things, and you've done it.
Mm-hmm.
And see, I want to talk about that so we can kind of see how you connected with simply knowing yourself.
Okay.
So, how are beauty pageants judged? And how should one prepare themselves? Because it looks like you got to be tall, skinny, long hair.
Well, not necessarily, okay. The two titles that I have had in '91, I won Miss Tennessee USA. So I made history along with my sister queen, Sharita Moses Upkins, who was the first African American to be crowned Miss Tennessee USA. She crowned me in '91. So we were two African Americans back to back in the state of Tennessee. That has not happened since '90 and '91. Okay.
Wow.
The second title that I had was Miss Woman Tennessee United States, which was for the older, more refined woman. So I won Miss Tennessee USA at 22, and I was Miss Woman Tennessee United States at 51. But to answer your question, pageants back then were totally different than what they are now. As you know, we had to always be twice as good as the average to even be noticed or to even be recognized for our gifts and our talent and for our beauty. Okay. So I worked very, very hard for it. In Miss Tennessee USA, there's no talent required. It's just swimsuit interview and evening gown. And it's just all about you putting your best foot forward. Now, I've coached several girls who have competed in the USA system and the America system. And the one thing that I always tell them is your job is not to go and to convince them to crown you. Your job is to go and not to give them a reason to not give you the crown and the title. So it's all about you, once again, knowing who you are and really being able to stand in yourself and your vulnerability, because Lord knows, 30 years ago when I won Miss Tennessee USA, I would not have felt confident or would not have been confident to tell people that I had a speech impediment. That was something that I tried to hide because I was afraid. Because they looked at beauty queens as being, oh, she's this perfect person and she's well versed and she's beautiful. She has a platform. She's doing this. She's doing that. But I used to hate to make appearances because every time that I would go somewhere, people would want to talk to me. And I would be standing there in the back of my mind going, oh my God, what if I stutter? Then my secret is going to be out. So I was petrified every time that I would have to go out and have to speak in front of anybody or to even give an interview or to even go out. But now that I've grown into knowing that it's okay to be imperfect, it's okay and to embrace that is what makes me who I am, and that is what makes me unique and different, and I'm comfortable in my own skin and knowing that that's how God made me. So as long as I know that, I mean, hey, it's okay. It's okay.
Awesome, awesome. Well, I'm glad you got to that point because I can imagine a lot of people, a lot of young girls starving themselves and being in a beauty pageant may not be a good thing because they can't get past that, past being perfect. And everybody knows that we all have imperfections.
Right, exactly. And
And
there is no such thing as perfect. There's no such thing. And I also coach my girls and tell them if you don't win the crown, it's okay. Because if you had a different set of judges on a different day, it very well could have been a totally different outcome. And I remember when I competed at Miss USA, and it was just here a couple of weeks ago at Graceland, and I had a chance to see my sister queens and a couple of the former Miss USAs like Carol Gist and Chelsea Cooley, and we're friends and everything. So it was really cool. But when I did not make that top 10, they only had a top 10 back then. Now they have a top 15. I missed making the top 15 by like 0.032. And I was heartbroken.
wow.
And when I reflect back on it now, Dick Clark was the host. and I was one of his favorites. And he personally walked up to me and said, Miss Tennessee, please, whatever you do not let this discourage you. You're beautiful. Please do
Yeah.
not let this discourage you. But at 22, it was like, okay, whatever. But when I look back on that now, I now realize just how special that was, because he was pretty much telling me, even though you didn't win the national title, you're still beautiful, you're still talented, you're
Yes.
still a queen. So
Uh-huh.
I get it now. I mean, it took me a couple of years, but I was like, Dick Clark actually walked up to me and told me that. And that was special, considering that he's no longer with us. So yeah, that was good.
And Joe Biden had a speech impediment. And to hear you talk about yours and the fear of speaking in front of people, it was kind of similar. But after a while, he gained enough confidence
Mm-hmm.
to realize that it was okay. And I wouldn't have never known that you had any kind of type of speech
Oh
impediment
my God, I
at
suffered
all.
so bad. It was awful. And it's actually happened like a couple of times while I'm talking to you now. But I mean, hey,
Really?
yeah, it's okay.
That's something.
Yeah.
Well, one thing I guess you can tell the young ladies, or one thing about being in a beauty contest, and you don't have to be in a contest to be positive,
No.
to display, to have a smile,
Right.
to be graceful,
Right.
uh, be realistic, those type of things we can apply in our lives today. And because of all this madness, Angela, I've never seen so much madness and hurt and pain ever in my life.
Now,
Ever.
as a certified etiquette and social graces instructor, okay, the 4 reasons that we use social skills, and when you really think about it, you use social skills every single day with interactions with everybody, from family to co-workers to strangers. And you have to use those in order to have a successful interaction or to be successful in communicating. Okay. But there's so many people that was, like you said, they have just let all of that go out of the window. And no matter
Right.
what, it is 2020, manners matter. And like my mentor and my big sister, who's one of my best friends, I love her dearly, Anita Knight High School, she says etiquette is not extinct. And that's so true, because the 4 reasons why that we use social skills is, one, to put people at ease, okay, and
Hmm.
to help them feel comfortable. Could you imagine going to the grocery store and you're walking through the produce department, and then all of a sudden a person starts picking up tomatoes and throwing them at you? No, you,
Well, now,
but
I do. My other gig is I'm a floral arrangement arranger, so it's part of the produce department, and I really have seen some crazy things. But no, I think I would be probably surprised if somebody came in and started throwing
imagine
tomatoes.
when you go to the store, you're not fearful in thinking, oh, somebody's going to throw something at me. No,
Right.
you know how to act, because you know that you want other people to feel comfortable around you, and you want to try to make people feel comfortable too as well. And then the second reason is to demonstrate respect and value for others as well as yourself, which a lot of people in this day and age, they need to learn that too. The third reason is to exhibit integrity and authenticity. And the fourth thing is to show that we value other people. And all of those things, they sound so simplistic, but so many people, they don't conduct themselves in that manner. They don't treat people in that manner. And it all just basically goes back to you just being kind to one another.
Exactly. And that's so easy to do. That's so easy to do.
Mm-hmm.
So tell me about simply knowing yourself. I know you touched on bases and you talked about being Miss Tennessee.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Miss USA and
Uh-huh.
the do's and the don'ts and how we have to work so much harder than most, but you survived.
Yeah.
And I want to know how you have joined and connected these two together. What are you doing for your girls?
Well, even though that I do have a degree in marketing management from the University of Memphis, my passion is to teach and to mentor. Okay. Since I don't have
Okay.
any children of my own, I treat my nephew and my nieces like they're mine. All of my pageant girls who I have coached, I have treated them like they're my daughters too as well. Because I wish that I had someone when I was Miss Tennessee USA who took me under their wing and treated me as such. But how that marries together is, I feel like it's my responsibility as an African American woman here in Memphis and a former Miss Tennessee USA, as you mentioned, to give back to the community and to teach the younger generation how to be proper young ladies and how to act like young women. Because since I am, and I hate to say a woman of age, but I'm just gonna say I'm in my fabulous 50s. I'm not ashamed to tell people my age. Okay, and I'm happy that I still look the way that I do. And people look at me like, oh, she was Miss Tennessee. So since I have that title, then I kind of have like a platform and people, they're more open to listen to what I have to say. And over the years, I've gone out, I've spoken to churches, I've spoken at lunches, I've spoken to organizations, I've done Zoom classes. But I just really think that it's so important because a lot of people now, they're just so caught up in, well, I got to go to work. I got to take care of
Yeah.
my family. I have to survive to the point of where that they're not investing in their children. And I think it's a necessity, especially in the African American community, to give these young girls and the boys too the proper tools to where that they will be successful in their life later on. And these are skills that will last them for a lifetime. And a lot of people, they don't put a lot of value in these things, but there's more to etiquette than what proper knife and fork to use. It's all about communication. It's all about interaction. It's all about integrity and respect, how you treat each other. It's like the introductions. It's little small things, but you have so many of these kids, they don't even know how to properly hold a knife and fork and how to cut. And it just blows my mind how those basic things that I was taught in my home, that these kids, they haven't been taught that. And they don't see the importance in it. But when you get older, and when you go to college and you go to an interview, you need to know how to present yourself. You need to know what to and what not to do. And so many of these kids, they just don't have a clue. They don't have any idea. And that's why I started my company. That's why I want to do this so I can give back.
Awesome. Awesome. I'm so glad to hear from you, and I'm so proud of you. You know, you were one of my models, one of my favorite models. I just showed up at the set, and working with one of the top stylists with L'Oreal out of New York.
Yeah,
Hey,
yeah,
he spoils you to death,
yeah.
but we enjoyed it. We had a great time. We had a great time,
Those,
and I'm so glad that
I
what?
said, those were definitely the good old days.
Yes, they were. They were. And you know what? After we did that live with you, Mary Beth and Alex Coleman contact us again, and we did another live, where I was featured as a makeup artist, and we was talking about how important it is for women to look well and feel good about themselves in the workplace.
Oh,
So you kind of ignited something for us over there live at 9 on Channel 3, you know?
yeah, yeah, yeah. That's awesome. That is, yeah,
I only wish that Gino was here
yeah.
to see it.
Oh my
Yeah.
God. Yes, I miss him so much.
Yeah, he was one of a kind, of
Yeah.
course. But you know what? In spite of all of that I had to endure,
I know.
I learned. Can't nobody beat me doing color, baby. You know, right?
I know. Look, you know,
Well, look, it's been awesome talking to you. Now I need you to take out the time and tell us how we can contact you because I'm going to be playing this over and over. And you need to put your, I think it's Sky, what's your simplyknowyourself.com?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, you can, let's see, my website is www.simply, let's see, I'm pulling it up here. Simplyknowyourself.com, and that's all together.
Mm-hmm.
And because of COVID and everything going on now, that I'm only doing virtual classes. Okay. So you can go to the website and you can send me an email or you can call me at 901-834-1500.
Angela, I need you to know that what you do is important. And I want you to know that Memphis matters, you matter, we all matter.
Yeah.
And thank you so much for joining me on today. I look forward to talking to you again soon,
Great.
okay?
I appreciate you. Mwah, mwah.
Bye bye now.
Bye.